Giancarlo from Vince's Market here at Upper Canada Mall at Market & Co. in our new floral boutique that we've just opened, and it'll be running through May 31st. And today I wanted to share with you some tips of how to care for some flowers that are purchased regularly at the grocery store, on how you can extend their life and get the fullest experience out of these beautiful fresh flowers. Let's start with fresh bouquets of flowers. So first off, the ideal conditions for bouquets of fresh flowers are in a clean vase with warm water. The stems of bouquets of fresh flowers take up warm water a lot better than cold water, so you want to make sure that you do that. Second off, always use the food that's provided by the flower companies, and often follow the directions, okay? No home remedies or home solutions. You want to use the fresh flower food that's made available to you. Another note is, never use a metal vase with fresh bouquets of flower. It will react with the acid that exists in the flower food, and that'll cause your flowers to wilt prematurely. So next, what you want to do is you want to prep the flowers to go into the vase. So first thing you can do is remove the plastic film that's been provided. The plastic is important on all the flowers you buy at the grocery store. It's really to make sure that while you're transporting them from the store out into the parking lot to your car, that they're not being impacted by any of the weather out there. Especially in the early spring when weather can be bad, a really cold breeze can actually damage the flowers in a very short period of time. Once you have the flowers ready to go, what you want to do is you want to cut the flower stems at an angle, at least an inch off, and by putting them on an angle, it makes sure that when the stem hits the bottom of the vase, that the water is still coming up through the stem. One of the things that I often do is I will just measure out how short to cut the vase to make sure that the flowers are at the right height. And you just do that by eyeballing it, by putting it in front of the vase. I can identify here that I'd like the flowers to be a little bit lower than they are right now, so I'm going to cut up about 2.5 inches. Now that my stems are cut, next thing I want to do is I want to remove any leaves from the stems that could sit in the water in my vase. The reason I want to do that is because you don't want those leaves to stay wet and they'll eventually rot. So by cleaning up the leaves up to the level of the water, you're going to save yourself from a little bit of that odor that can come from the leaves when they do sit in the water for more than a few days. All right, now that we've removed some of the leaves, it's ready to go in the vase and be ready to be displayed. We now have this beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers in our vase with fresh water. You notice, well, there's no leaves in the water or anything else. We've got our fresh food inside, mixed nicely, and it's ready to enjoy some nice sunlight in your home. One thing to keep in mind is you want to keep this away from any fresh fruit or cigarette smoke, because the ethylene will make the flowers start to rot a little bit prematurely. So keep it away from fresh food, as well as cigarette smoke, and you'll have a beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers for a good amount of time in your home.